It's homemade pole, just with a used wind generator clamped to the sapling with muffler clamps, and tarred the bottom. This is for a homestead near where I live in Maine. The Wally Weefel, the guy with the long red shirt there, already has a photovoltaic system, but he wanted more power in the winter time. So you can add wind, you can put wind and photovoltaic modules together in the same system, going into the same battery bank. Once you adjust the charge controllers a little bit, and there's no problem. These two complement each other. They don't compete. You don't say, oh, should I use wind or solar? You use both. You know those cold, windy nights in the wintertime? And then you have the hot, sunny summer afternoons without a breath of wind. You get a nice, even delivery of power year-round by using both of them together. So that's what we're doing there. I did my first hybrid wind photovoltaic system in southern Indiana in 1982. I installed one, and I've installed many since then. Okay. I'm going to talk about more recent times in 1982. I just came here from Rwanda. I didn't even go home yet. I was asked to go to Rwanda by a group, this lady from the Barefoot Artists, in order to work with the genocide survivors. Rwanda is sort of a paradise for human beings. The temperature is like eternal spring. It goes between 60 and 80 degrees year-round. Always the same band of temperature. And there's enough rains. Usually in the afternoon it rains very nicely to give fertile, you know, it's very green and everything. You can grow all kinds of crops on fertile volcanic soil. And it's a very perfect place. Except for the social process. They had, it's overpopulated, and everybody is very, very poor. They had a big war about 12 years ago, and the Rwandans killed each other. About 1.2 million people got killed. Doesn't take modern warfare. They did it with machetes and so forth. It didn't even waste on bullets. So I was asked to go and work with the survivors. They have a survivor village which has these people living in it, and they have all kinds of stories. And speaking of volcanic soil, here we are. That's what the stuff that produces that soil. It's getting ready to erupt, they say, and so they have warnings, and they'll lay another layer of volcanic ash all over everything, or maybe magma will come down. This is real geothermal heating. They talk about geothermal here in eastern Nebraska. There isn't any. We went from here to a number of places, including Lincoln. You know, I didn't see a single smoking volcano in the whole trip here. And there's not even hot springs here. Western Nebraska has geothermal. They have hot springs there, but not here. What they have here, they call geothermal, are ground source heat pumps. It's called geo-exchange in Wisconsin now because geothermal is reserved for where you drill a hole in the ground and high pressure steam comes roaring up, you put a turbine on it, and you get electricity out of the system. That's geothermal. What we have here is a pseudo-renewable. There's several pseudo-renewables that we have. The carbon establishment, that's the people, the oil companies, the coal companies, the car companies that make cars that have pistons that go up and down. That's all part of the carbon establishment. They have become aware that we, the people, want to use renewable energy. So they sell us fossil fuel energy and call it renewable. Here's the arithmetic. There's a brand new power plant, and it's next to an older one. I know that he just showed me. And you take coal and you put it in that power plant, and you take 3 units of energy in the coal, that's chemical energy, and you burn it, and you get 1 unit of electricity coming out. They run about 33% efficient. I've been told that I'm a bit generous here, but I'll use that for the numbers. And you ship that 1 unit of electricity to your house, and you use it to run a motor that runs the compressor on an air conditioner that is cooling the ground. You take 2 units of heat out of the ground, mix it with 1 unit of heat from the electricity that you've bought, and you end up with 3 units of heat in your house, minus what's lost in the wires through your house. You have a coal-heated house with the smokestack, your smokestack, in somebody else's backyard. That's all it is. It's 100% fossil fuel. There's no renewable involved at all. And they are on a move to not call it geothermal, because the Department of Energy defines geothermal as getting energy directly from the earth, which is not what you're doing. So anyway, that's a pseudo-renewable. There's others. You have the whole hydrogen economy scam. Hydrogen is not a source of renewable fuel, renewable energy, because it's not a fuel at all. It's nothing but a rather inefficient storage mechanism. Lithium does a much better job of storing electricity than hydrogen does, because it's right below hydrogen in the periodic table. It doesn't weigh that much, but it's a solid at room temperature, which makes it a lot easier to work with. So that's why this laptop has a lithium-ion battery in it, when the older ones had nickel metal hydride. They used the hydrogen as the storage mechanism in your, in fact, your Insight uses hydrogen as its storage mechanism, and the new ones are going to lithium because it's more efficient. So anyway, that's another example. Alcohol from corn is yet another one. That has a disadvantage of burning of food when people are starving, which of course is immoral, as well as using, and they use basically, it's only a way of using fossil fuels in a different way and raising the price of food. The people I work with in Rwanda are going hungry because they can't afford to buy the grain they need, because it's being used to make alcohol. Okay, I worked with the people, and here we're making little battery chargers. We made one of those today in the school, out in the hallway there, and got it all working and everything. And you're soldering 4 little cells together to do this. There's a soldering iron. By the way, this is in a village with no power at all. I modified that soldering station so that the soldering iron runs on 24 volts DC. It had a transformer in it, a 24-volt transformer. I bypassed it. And I bought 2 truck batteries, which are running all the tools to make the modules. And here we're testing the thing. We did this with the kids today. They loved it. And I also, after it was, we proved it was working, I used it to recharge the batteries in my camera. It's nice. You can recharge non-rechargeable batteries with these. And the people are on a waiting list to use the 2 that the school now owns.